She has been a princess since the moment she took her first breath. Not metaphorically, legally. And for over 2 decades, she has never once used that title. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why a girl born with a crown waiting for her might be about to choose a completely different path, one involving combat boots instead of tiaras. Let's get into it. Her name is Lady Louise Windsor. Her father is Prince Edward, the youngest son of Queen Elizabeth II. And under a rule written over a century ago, that makes her a princess by right, automatically, no ceremony required. That rule goes back to 1917. Europe's royal houses were collapsing one after another during World War I, and King George V, terrified the British monarchy would look just as bloated and out of touch, drew up a strict rulebook. Grandchildren of the monarch through the male line would be princes and princesses with the right to be called Royal Highness. Louise qualified the instant she was born in 2003. So why has almost nobody ever called her Princess Louise? Because her parents made a choice before she could even talk. When Edward married Sophie in 1999, the palace announced their children would be styled as the son and daughter of an earl, not royalty. But here's the twist most people miss. That announcement was never backed by formal legal papers. The title was never stripped away. It was simply left untouched, sitting there, waiting. In 2020, Sophie confirmed it herself. Both Louise and her brother James legally hold their HRH titles. And when Louise turned 18, the door was hers to open at any moment. She hasn't opened it, not yet. Instead, her parents raised her like she'd have to survive in the real world, because as Sophie put it, she'd probably need a job someday. No palace bubble, no round-the-clock security following her to school, local schools, girl guides, a summer job at a garden center. While her cousins Beatrice and Eugenie grew up as full-blown Your Royal Highness, Louise grew up almost invisible. And maybe that's exactly what shaped her. At 7, she was the poised little bridesmaid at William and Kate's wedding. At 18, she stood in silent, dignified vigil beside her grandmother's coffin, a moment that moved people around the world. She bonded with Prince Philip over carriage driving, inherited his ponies after he passed, and has since competed, and placed, at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. But here's where the story turns dramatic. King Charles's monarchy is running dangerously thin. Health scares, aging royals, scandal-driven exits. Right now there are only a handful of working royals under 70 left to carry the entire institution. The math doesn't work. The crown needs reinforcements, and it may not have a choice but to look at the people it once pushed to the sidelines. That's where Louise's next move becomes explosive. In 2024, she joined the Officer Training Corps at St. Andrews. Real weapons training, real leadership drills, real discipline. In late 2025, she marched in full camouflage at a remembrance parade, focused, unflinching, every inch a soldier. Insiders say she isn't doing this for show, she wants to serve. If she continues toward Sandhurst and an actual military career after graduating in 2026, she would become the first woman in the royal family to join the armed forces in over 80 years, since her own grandmother, the future queen, drove trucks during World War II. Think about what that means. A princess who didn't ask for her title, who might finally claim it not because she was born into it, but because she earned it in mud, discipline, and rank. So here's the real question haunting the palace right now. When Louise graduates, does she disappear into a quiet military career on her own terms? Or does the crown finally call her back, hand her the title that's been gathering dust for 22 years? Because it desperately needs someone the public actually trusts? Nobody knows yet, not even her. But one thing is already certain. Unlike almost anyone else born into that family, Louise gets something priceless. An actual choice. And whichever path she takes, she'll walk into it having proven she never needed the crown to be taken seriously. If you think Louise should embrace the title, or stay far away from it, drop your take in the comments. And subscribe, because this story is far from over.